The new AFL game comes out in a couple of days, and the big question is it going to be any good? Let's talk about it. So if you remember a few years ago when AFL 23 came out, I did a player management or career management mode. Our game just crashed. Our game just crashed. We're going to accept and send the report. Are you kidding me? Oh my God, the game just crashed. The game just crashed. After we were just praising it for what it's been able to do, they are crowding. Oh, that wasn't even me that kicked that.
That might attract a pack.
What just happened? I didn't kick that at all.
It's no place for the faint-hearted. Rowan, you can't question his commitment. Out of the congestion.
Okay, there is still...
Look at him go. Fighting tooth and nail. Not
like, how is that not smothered with steel side bottom right in that guy's face? I reckon if I did the replay, I'm just going to go to the replay because I reckon that went straight through steel. Okay, so tell me how this isn't... tell me how this isn't dropping the ball or something. And that was Pendlebury.
McCreary can run, and that's a great hand pass.
Like, you weren't giving me enough time to press that. That's bullshit. That, again, actually, I'm just going to change the camera. Again, that is pathetic, really. It's really stupid. And I absolutely was just... It was just a bundle of frustration and anger, and it was something that I wanted to love so much, but I just couldn't. There was not a loving bone, and I'm a loving guy, but there wasn't a loving bone in me that made me love that game. It was just annoying, right? But it was, you know, but that's the thing, right? It was a double-edged sword because we were calling out for an AFL game, and we got one, and for the most part, it was good. It was okay. 1,000 patches later, it was, for me anyway, and I'm just like a casual sort of gamer. I like my FIFA, I like my my RPGs, Baldur's Gate, and all that sort of stuff. It was just not worth the hassle. I remember I picked it up actually a few weeks ago and played it again, and I still couldn't tackle, still couldn't kick a goal properly. It was just frustrating. But I hope AFL 26 is very, very different. Now, as I'm recording this, there's 2 days until the game comes out, and we have gotten no footage whatsoever at all, zero zilch. In a couple of years ago when they did AFL 23, they had a launch where there was content creators, players, not me, but content creators and players go down to Big Ant Studios or wherever they did it. They were playing the game, and there was some footage coming through, and people were leaking the different numbers of players and all their skills and attributes and all this sort of stuff. It has been all quiet on that front. Now, to me, as a casual gamer, or just as, I don't know, just someone with, you know, whatever it is, right? When you're 2 days out from the launch of your title game, your big game for a sport that is the most beloved sport in Australia, that's got a big fan base, got a, you know, and you saw what happened with AFL 23, to not release any footage is insane. Now, okay, they've released some trailers and they've released some footage in trailer, but none of that footage has said in-game footage. So I don't think any of that was captured in-game. I feel like it would have been, you know, done for the trailer itself, and we'll break down the trailer a little bit later. But I'm just a bit cautious when it comes to, you know, a big game not having any gameplay leaked or any, you know, Big Ant going, hey, the game's out in a week. Here's a game and here's what it looks like. Or a couple of content creators, here's a couple of codes, and this is, you know, have a play, have a feel, let us know what you think. None of that. So I feel a little bit weird about that. But in saying all that, that's just negative, Luke, right? That's just negative, Swoop. I want to love this game. I want to cuddle it. I want to kiss it. I want it to be an incredible AFL game because I do believe that there is a place for an AFL game amongst some of the best games. And I understand it's an Australian sport, so there's not a lot of budget or whatever. I'm not really into the numbers and what this sort of budget is for this game, but you can still make a great AFL game and not compromise the game itself. Now, the big question is it going to be better than AFL 23? I really hope so. It sounds like it's going to be. There's going to be player career modes. We'll break down some of the slides in a second about team management mode and what that sort of looks like. But it all comes down to the fundamentals. Is this just going to be a more polished version than AFL 23 and just like a reskinned AFL 23 with a little bit more jostling, bit of better tackling, better kicking, and then all these other menus and all these other sliders and all that sort of stuff? Is that what it's going to be? Or I'm not saying is it going to be a completely new game that's built from the ground up. I know it's going to look like AFL 23 in some parts, but is it going to be an improvement on? I really do hope so. I will be doing a lot of AFL 26 content, whether that's, I'll be live streaming it. I'll be doing a player management mode. So we'll start off with a Swoop Luke character. We'll probably even put in my height. If I can get a Swoop Luke player at 155 centimeters, 5'2", into a Collingwood team, you best believe I'm going to do that. So we'll do that. Let me know your thoughts down below. What do you want to see from my AFL 26 content? More of like what I used to do or a little bit different? Let me know your thoughts down below. But now we're going to break down what has been released. All right, so here we go. This is the first teaser trailer, and look, it looks absolutely beautiful. There's the pies, and Patrick Cripps looks a bit weird, but look, it looks nice and it looks polished. It looks very, very good. But again, is this just in-game footage, or is this how we're going to be with all the jostling and stuff? And you'll see some here, some like amazing, right? Those screamers, absolutely amazing. Like it looks incredible. The bump and the 50 and the goals and the animations, it looks absolutely insane. And I want this to be how it plays. Look at that Jamie Elliott screamer. That is just nuts. And yes, look, everyone's going to go on about the graphics and stuff like that. But what can you do about the graphics when it's such a small sort of studio? It's not that EA Sports money. And I love this as well. Mac Andrews shushes the crowd after that goal against Essendon. Is that animation going to be in the game? Is that animation going to be in the game? That's the big question. So I've slowed these ones down here because I want to know, like, is this... That looks great, and all these goals look really good, but is that how it's going to look? Like, I doubt that kick from Papley is going to be in the game. I just don't think... And because we haven't seen gameplay, I can't trust it. But look at that by Jamie Elliott. I know that speckies are going to be in the game, but are we actually going to see it like that? Or is that just built for the trailer to get the hype up? Again, they should have just showed us gameplay. Like, why are we waiting until a day before to hopefully get gameplay? So here we get a little bit more of a look about career mode. So this is development. So you can see the physicality, speed, stamina. I think this is for Patrick Cripps himself. So you can see that they've gone a little bit more in depth, which we absolutely love to see. And this is obviously for like training and making your player a better player. This next one here is training days. So you've got all these times, all these days and shifts for training. And again, just more in depth. And that's what we've been asking for. But is this going to mask the other areas that this game might fall down on? Either way, I think this is really, really, really cool and a nice little touch. This one here, again, career mode, because that's all the screenshots that we're getting from Big Ann at the moment. You can see what your sponsorship looks like, your social media team membership, just these nice little touches that we didn't get in AFL 23, but I think that was because 23 was the base to build upon for 26 to be a better game. And then here you've got, you can adjust memberships and stuff like that and where you get all your money from. And again, this is all about, FIFA does this as well in some regards. So I love seeing this, but give me some absolute gameplay. But that is pretty much it for AFL 26. Again, it comes out in a couple of days. Nothing has been released gameplay-wise yet. I'm hoping I can see that the day before release, so that'll be interesting. But I'm actually really excited. I know I've been talking and been very passive aggressive and stuff. But I'm actually really, really excited. I think I'm going to get it over the weekend, and I just can't wait. Mainly, I can't wait to do player career mode because that's what I do in FIFA, and I absolutely love that. The team career mode looks pretty intense as well, but hopefully there's some kicking and tackling and stuff and tutorials like that, because I remember when AFL 23 got released, there was none of that. So you had to guess it all. You had to keep pausing the game to see what the controls were. So I just want a polished AFL 26 version. And, I might even do pro teams. I don't do pro teams or foot, whatever it's called on FIFA. But I might do pro teams if that's the content that you guys want to see. Let me know down below. But until then, like, comment, subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets. And until next time, double shackers. I'll swoop you later.